I decided one night that what I really needed to do was go out and find a cute boy to make out with for the evening at a goth club, and then never have to see him again. And so...
And I, that same night, had decided to go out and, find some floozy to take home.
And this really weird thing that has never happened to me before happened, which is that when I looked at him, it was like something out of like a movie or like True Blood or something, where like there was the focus on him and all the lights around him dimmed, so he sort of glowed a little bit. It was weird. It sounds totally cheesy and fucking ridiculous when I say it out loud, but like, and in the moment it wasn't like, wow, supernatural, this person must be the love of my life. It was just like, wow, that was weird and interesting. I wonder what that's about. He wasn't saying anything. He was just staring very intently at me and not speaking. And so, of course, I'm immediately like, what's your story?
So I was like, really nervous about like going there again.
Boy, did you fight it. So, I knew within 2 weeks that I not only was falling in love with Shea, but that it had a quality and intensity that I had never, ever had in any prior relationship. And I just sort of like went with it. And I told Shea on a park bench 2 blocks away from here, I was like, I think I'm falling in love with you. And he was like, already? Like, incredulous. And he held off 3 months before he said it back.
When you're falling in love with somebody, you, like, there's a part of you that is extremely invested in knowing that this person is doing well and that they're connected to you. And, like, so there's a whole, like, lot of, like, emotional investment, and if every time that, like, you know they're doing okay or they're connected to you, it's like feeding your soul.
This is the first relationship where I'm actually like healed. And not to say that like healing isn't a lifelong process or anything like that. Like, trauma is always going to have been part of my background, but like I've gotten to a point where that work is mostly done now. And so it's not about someone who's going to hold my hand through the flashbacks or hold my hand through like recovering those memories or hold my hand through that difficult stuff, but somebody who's going to be a full-fledged partner with me into the future. We've joked before that like there's no way I could have had this relationship with him 10 years ago. Certainly. There was too much stuff that I still needed to resolve within myself before I could have been in this kind of a partnership, because there was always an element before where I had to feel like if the chips were down, that the person I was with could take care of me while I completely fell apart. Whereas now this feels like much more of an equal partnership.
One of the things that sort of made it easier to like do that from the beginning and establish that is like the uncertainty in our relationship actually allowed that stuff to happen more easily, because we weren't like making things up, and both of us were totally open. Like, I wasn't, she was saying I love you, I wasn't saying it back. She wasn't like pressuring me to, and like I'd tell her how I was feeling, she'd just be like, okay, like it was just total acceptance, and just recognizing and accepting things as being the way they are, and that being okay.
The difference between a heart connection and a soul connection. A heart connection is loving somebody for who they are in this present moment, but a soul connection is not just loving somebody for who they are, but loving them for the potential of who they can be. Even before we knew what it was going to be, there was this feeling of like, we're just going to fucking do this. We're going to be totally honest with each other. We're not going to hold anything back from each other, even if it hurts, and we're just going to see what happens.